Good thing Zaslav's getting a 9-figures check.
Well, Zaslav also had probably the least amount of Emmy nominations this year as we get into the 2024 nominees. And it says winners here, but ain't nobody won yet. Let's break it down. What do you have?
Yeah.
What are your yays or nays when it comes to the new slew of nominees? Which, again, I believe the breakdown is this May. But technically it goes from before last May because of the strikes. So there's this little weird loophole. So when you see some of these, they're not the most recent season sometimes. It's the last one.
So the strikes pushed last year's Emmy award show to January, but they didn't push the Emmy deadline. So it still is the normal June to May sort of like half and half of the calendar year thing that they do. So that's why, we're still talking about season 2 of The Bear and season 2 of Hacks rather than the most recent season, or maybe it is the most recent season of Hacks actually. But point being, I think there's a lot of interesting nominees. There's definitely some stuff that I didn't love. The big leader in nominations was Shogun with 25, which I still haven't caught up with, but I take that you're a fan of.
Hell yeah.
Working on it.
I wish, bro. I hope that one upsets for sure. I'm happy that it's got that record already too. So
I mean, I feel like it's the front runner in the drama category right now with no more Succession around to take it.
Well, let's break it down. Let's start with the comedy over here because like you're telling me this would be this year's Abbott.
Yeah, I think it's season 3 of Abbott.
I also took a break. I don't even know. What we have here, if you tell me that this is season 2 of The Bear, then we're moving on to the next category.
Yeah, well, I mean, beyond that, The Bear, we should mention, broke 30 Rock's record for most nominations for a comedy series with 23. 30 Rock had 22 about 20 years ago. So The Bear is obviously the front runner heading into the Emmy ceremony, and it's going to be the front runner in not just this category, but I think most categories in which it's nominated.
What would be your runner-up?
I'd love to see What We Do in the Shadows get a little bit of love, but Hacks also, because Hacks did pretty well too. Hacks picked up 17 nominations. It was one of the most nominated shows, the second most nominated comedy.
I would like to see a Curb win for its final season of some sort. Right. It doesn't have to be the big one, but I did think it was a really good season of television.
That'd be great.
I guess the way this keeps it is just to comedy. So let's get the comedy out of the way, and then we'll talk about why Shogun's going to win it. What do you got right here for outstanding lead actor? Shout out to Pharaoh for getting a little nom right there on its final season.
Yeah, I was going to say it's cool thing for Reservation Dogs, which broke through not just in lead actor, but as we mentioned before, in best comedy series with its final season, which is really exciting. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about was Matt Berry getting a nomination, becoming the first actor from the What We Do in the Shadows cast. He's so funny on that show. Just like even imagining him deliver the line "most outstanding lead actor" is enough that I think it would make me laugh. I mean, I really like him. Of course, you always got Larry David there, and I like the Only Murders in the Building duo. But like, let's be real. This is Jeremy Allen White's A Board to Lose.
Season 2, yeah, especially that. Yeah. I keep forgetting that it was like I saw him win for season 2 at the Globes, at all of the other shows that have kind of prepped for that. Yeah. Lead actress, you got Quinta going up against Ayo, going up against Selena, Maya Rudolph, Jean Smart, and Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised
that Ayo's been getting it for, though. It's the season Ayo's been getting it for at the other awards, so how would it not happen here? She never got it for one. She's been getting it for 2.
She also was supporting actress before, and she bumped up to lead for the second season. So I think Quinta's sort of reign over this category is under attack. I think this is Ayo's to lose. This is also Selena Gomez's first Emmy nomination, I believe, in this category.
Really?
The one I was surprised by the most is probably Kristen Wiig in Palm Royale. Not because Kristen Wiig isn't great and always a contender when she's in a show, just because that show didn't really work for me, and I don't think it worked for most people who saw it.
He even got a nomination for comedy.
Yeah, Palm Royale did better than I think most people were anticipating, because it didn't get a whole lot of buzz.
Right there, too. Apple knows how to get it in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Which just got renewed for a third season on Loot.
My dark horse is Jean Smart. If we're going off of season 3, I thought she did an excellent job in handling a lot of what her character has to go through. There's like cancellations that happen in that show.
Yeah.
There's a particular scene in season 3 where she has to meet her idols, and she realizes how different they are from her. I thought she did some really good acting stuff in that season.
That also might be a good place to talk about the lack of Emma Stone, as well as any nominations for The Curse, one of my favorite
fits
shows
this
from
year,
the
right?
past year. Yeah, it does fit this
Well,
Emmys
that would be
window.
limited.
I mean,
That'd be limited. But I agree with you. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, I mean, whether it's comedy or limited that it's running in, it's just not there at all. The Emmys showed it no love.
Sheesh. Remind me when it gets to limited, because it was one season,
Sure.
so it should be like the TV miniseries. Ew. No, bro, wait till you see what's actually nominated then. That's pretty bad. All right, comedy actor. Since we're talking about season 2, I mean, that was the one where Marcus gets its own episode. I believe that's the one Rami Youssef directed, and he also got a nomination for that episode where they go to, I'm blanking on it. Oslo? Where do they go?
Copenhagen, I believe.
Yes. One of the best episodes, in my opinion, so I'm happy he got the nom.
Happy he got the nom. He's not going to be Eben, especially for the season where Forks got nominated.
No. Yeah.
I was also happy to see Paul Downs getting a nomination here, speaking of hacks.
Very good in that. There's a sequence in season 3 also for them, right? Where he's now on his own and he's got to go convince Helen Hunt. I love that entire episode. I thought him and his side story with, I'm blanking on her name, Cora Bora, it was
Meg
the best
Stalter,
that they've been so far. Best that they've been so far. But sadly, no one's beating Evan Moss because his Forks episode is one of the standout ones. But Bowen Yang, bro, if they just carved out a bit for Bowen Yang to play whatever on Saturday Night Live and he comes in here, because he's not the funniest Saturday Night Live actor.
There's a weird thing that's been happening for the past, I want to say like decade or so with the Emmys, where they always choose like one person from the Saturday Night Live cast to nominate. And for a while it was Kristen Wiig. I think Kate McKinnon got a couple nominations there. But yeah, it just seems like Bowen is their person for whatever reason. And I think Bowen Yang is very funny on SNL. I don't know if I would pick Bowen as like or the best actor, supposedly. Like
that
I feel
too.
like you could, yeah.
I also think it's weird to put him in the comedy when the show itself is in a completely different category.
Is in variety, yeah.
There you go. Let's see what we got. Supporting actress.
So speaking of The Bear, Lisa Colon-Zayas broke through here, and this is, again, season 2, so maybe she'll have a good shot when Napkins is nominated eventually next year. I don't really think she's got that much of a shot in this category. I would anticipate it goes to one of the 2 Abbott Elementary women, but I could also see them splitting the vote and this going to Hannah Einbender for Hacks.
I like Hannah. Really good season for her as well, but I would like it to go to Cheryl Lee Ralph. But honestly, anybody who wins just to top Meryl Streep is funny. It's just funny to have. just the idea that they're going to have to mention that in their speech of having beaten her. But a pretty solid lineup right there. And then we get to the guest actors, because that's the one thing that the Emmys like to add. Just somebody who kind of is like a role player, as we break down on the Intercut Awards.
Yeah.
John Bernthal for The Bear, again, coming in a couple of flashes throughout the season. Matthew Broderick for Only Murders. I don't know if you liked him in
funny.
that.
He was good.
Ryan Gosling for Saturday Night Live. Actually makes more sense if we're going to have to include people into anything. I feel like the role player, again, I don't believe it being a part of the comedy, but a role player feels like the appropriate thing. Although, isn't there a host award? That's a host award.
Yeah, I mean, I guess hosting an award show is a little bit different from hosting SNL. And
no, it's not.
It's like, I mean, it's like a 3-hour thing where you're not doing that much sketch performance versus the. I don't know if it really belongs in guest actor either, but just the weirdness of TV.
Better than Bowen, though. Christopher Lloyd in Hacks was pretty good for the one episode that he's in. I really like that one as the old screenwriter who's trying to make his thing out there. Bob Odenkirk, I think, is just in the flashback for Fishes, no?
Yep. Just that one episode.
Would you have him over John Bernthal? Or are you going to go full piece with Will Poulter? I love the dichotomy of the most chillest actor and the ones egging everyone on being nominated.
Honestly, from this collection, I might go Ryan Gosling. I feel like he did the best.
Really?
Yeah, it would be crazy to see Bob Odenkirk win after getting blanked for all those years of Better Call Saul.
That would be disrespectful, yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes John Bernthal in the end.
I would love it for it to go to John. I'm going Ryan Gosling in a later category. So moving it out, I think the last one we should have here is Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. And we have Olivia Colman in The Bear. Fantastic. Jamie Lee Curtis in The Bear. Also pretty good. I think she has a little bit more than just a role appearance, but okay. Caitlin Olsen from Hacks. Divine Joy. Caitlin Olsen does not count as a guest role either, in my opinion. Divine, you would let me know.
I mean, she's
Maya
not
Rudolph.
technically on every episode.
But she's too big.
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe for season 2, not season 3. Season 3, she has maybe a more prominent part.
I feel like she's in there as much as like Marcus.
Yeah,
And
but Marcus,
Tina are
they
in the
underserved too on that show.
That's what I'm saying. Bet one gets a different award. Who you got?
I would go with Caitlin Olsen among this category, but it's going to be Jamie Lee Curtis, and I almost feel like it's not even a question. That's the kind of performance that award shows eat up.
Yeah, you're right. Outstanding directing for a comedy series. Like I said,
there's that Rami Youssef nomination you mentioned.
Yeah, but it's going to go to Fishes because this is the one Christopher Storer did, and it's the standout one for sure.
Yeah,
and then writing. What's up?
No, I mean, the writing category is interesting because our beloved The Other Two did crack it, thankfully. One nomination there, but that's a pretty great collection of comedies. I think that's actually the best comedies right now, with Girls 5 Eva sneaking in there and What We Do in the Shadows.
Right? And they let you know through the writing. Damn. And then drama.
Now we're on to drama.
It. Three Body Problem, Fallout, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shogun, Slow Horses, The Crown, Gilded, and The Morning Show. I will be saying everything I need to say about The Morning Show right now as we go through the slew of nominations. Who is watching this show? That's all I got to say. Shogun. I don't know. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried against The Crown because it's The Crown.
Yeah, but it's the final season of The Crown, which most people thought was pretty garbage. I think the biggest contender here versus Shogun is actually Fallout. Fallout is a pretty popular show. I don't know if it has the prestige respect that Shogun has.
My thing.
But
that's my thing. I don't have a problem with it winning, but I feel like it's got the popularity vote, so it gets the nominations, but they won't dare to have it win. But if it did, that'd be pretty surprising. Fallout also has a lot more, I think. I know Shogun extended as well, because Shogun was supposed to be a miniseries. You can still catch it on Letterboxd. But it's just a better show, bro. I think just everything about it, the way it's made. The one big one I do need to catch up on is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, though.
I'm really glad that snuck in there. And not only Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we'll get to it, but both Donald Glover and Maya Erskine getting nominations, too.
Like, they had the whole team come in. Yep. I'm going with Shogun for the show, and I think I'm going for it in lead actor as well. Second to Walton for Fallout.
I feel like it's the same thing here, where either Walton or Hiroyuki Sanada probably is taking this category. There is a lot of love for Gary Oldman on Slow Horses, though. I would not be shocked if he ultimately took it.
Hey, good for them. Shout out Slow Horses crew. Maybe.
And a surprise seeing Idris Elba there for Hijack, too. I kind of enjoyed Hijack.
Best performance?
I mean, he's playing Idris Elba, but he's good at playing Idris Elba. 2? That's a great question. I think...
Right? Because it's not unlimited.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Surprise, you're getting a season 2.
I guess so.
Hijacked again. Outstanding lead actress, though. Again, you got 2 morning show. You got Maya from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Carrie Coon is one of the reasons I need to start the Gilded Age, because I know it's that point where it's like right before we get into I think you're leaving medieval times into more of a technological era. It's gotten a lot of buzz off of HBO, but honestly, I'm going to double it up and go Shogun again here for Anna Sawai. I thought she gave a great performance, and then hearing the behind the scenes for how she needed to learn Japanese, but from feudal Japan, so a lot of the words were different. Right. That just shows me that she put even more work into it, and it is an incredible performance as well. So I'm locking that in, but I haven't seen Carrie Coon in Gilded Age, and that's my girl right there. Carrie Coon never goes wrong. Would you root for Maya?
Yeah, I mean, she's the only one of these I've actually seen, so I guess so. I like her a lot.
Next would be Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. Got a couple. Well, see, one from Shogun.
Yeah.
Way too many for the
Three from the morning show. Yeah.
Way too many from the morning show. So I'm gonna lock this in with nobody from the morning show. That's my lock.
So the morning show scored 7 different supporting actor nominations between the 3 in this category and the 4 in the category you're about to get to.
But doesn't that tell you everything you need to know? That they have mopped the acting categories, these above the line stuff. Got way too many, and still couldn't beat Shogun for the most nominations because technically nothing.
Yeah,
That tells you how the competing is.
The morning show is basically a money laundering scheme for Emmy nominations at this point.
And that's a fact. Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series.
4 people from the morning show, and granted, I like all 4 of these people. But
this is how I found out Nicole Hari was in it.
I think this is how I found out Holland Taylor's in it.
It's insane, dude. I'm going Elizabeth Debicki, The Crown.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alrighty, and now we get into the guest actors, starting with the males. Nestor for Shogun, Paul Dano for Mr. and Mrs. I didn't even know he was in that. Tracy Letts for Winning Time, which I did not realize still counts for this last year. Jonathan Pryce, Slow Horses, and John Turturro, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I guess I'd root for Nestor from the Lost Days, but if you see more of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, would you have one of these two? Either of them?
I mean, I like John Turturro on it. I honestly really like that Tracy Letts performance from Winning Time. That's the one that stood out to me among these.
All right, I'm gonna go Winning Time too then, because that show never got any love, and now we're stuck with Clipped. Have you seen any of Clipped?
No, and I hear I'm better off for it.
Don't watch Clipped. Guest actress in a drama series, Michaela Cole, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Oh, good for her. Claire Foy, The Crown. They got her as guest actress now? How'd that happen?
She's not on a lot of this season. They aged him up.
That's crazy. Marcia Gay Harden in The Morning Show, another one. And then a duo from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Sarah Paulson and Parker Posey. Bro, they're in the show? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I gotta watch
Parker
the show.
Posey's really good on it. All of them are good on it. I would go for a Mr. and Mrs. Smith one here.
I'm going to go Sarah Paulson because Sarah Paulson. Well, also Michaela Cole. Yeah. I got to catch up on that one. The next category, as we get to the technical stuff over here, we got directing for a drama.
Any stand out to you? I feel like I personally would go with Hiro Murai, our guy from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but again, I haven't seen Shogun.
Yeah, if I had I believe it's the pilot for Shogun, but if I had a root for a person, Hiro. Has Hiro won one?
Yeah.
How's he not?
That's a great question. I don't think he has.
He must have, bro.
Maybe for Atlanta? Maybe?
That's what I'm saying. He has to have had some.
Yeah.
Outstanding writing for a drama. Fallout, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You got the double on Shogun here. I'm hoping it goes to Shogun. I think the writing in Shogun, especially the way that they're just mixing in between languages, profound. Like, even if it was in one language, it deserves the award. But I would love a copy of one of those scripts. And then we get to the big one here. So right off the bat, who are you knocking out as soon as I finish saying these to replace with the curse? Baby Reindeer, Fargo, Lessons in Chemistry, Ripley, True Detective Night Country.
I mean, I think you know which one. You mumbled at Lessons in Chemistry, but I also thought people didn't really enjoy this season of True Detective that much.
They didn't, but people were mixed. It was one of those where it's like, there's enough people. There was enough people.
Yeah. And look, Emmy voters liked it. They gave it 19 nominations.
I don't get that one, bro.
Yeah.
Some of the acting ones I'm okay with, but yeah. I feel like it's Baby Reindeer's to lose because of all of the hype that it's been getting. I feel like it is slated to go all the way. Although this season of Fargo, incredible, bro. I'm rooting for a lot of the actors that we're going to see in a little bit. But I would also not mind Ripley winning. Ripley deserves every single award
Ripley's
it gets.
the one I'm going with, yeah.
If Ripley were to beat Fargo, which I think I like more than Ripley, I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with it beating Baby Reindeer, and obviously the other two. But I feel like it's an uphill battle for it, and I think Baby Reindeer's got the most traction going for it, especially with all the other nominations it got. But dude, you need to catch that new season of Fargo. It's some good stuff. It's really good. Really good.
I love the first 2 episodes of it, so I got to get back into that world.
So our personal picks: Fargo. You got Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna go Baby Reindeer. But, probably gonna go there. But justice for It's a curse, bro. Must be really cursed.
Yeah.
Must have hit something that, like, not even an accident award.
Right?
Not even a
Not even
technical? Nothing?
cinematography stunts
Cinematography
for the last episode.
Okay. Outstanding television movie. Mr.
Yeah,
Monk's
this
Last
is
Case.
normally a pretty shoddy category, and this year
I
didn't
don't
do a
get
whole
the
lot to
point of
dispel
this.
that.
Yeah. Quiz Lady. I thought this came out 2 years ago, but Red, White, and Royal Blue getting a sequel. Scoop and Unfrosted. That would be enough for me to not show up to the ceremony if I was nominated against Unfrosted. But I mean, this is pretty easy for me. Quiz Lady.
Yeah, I go with Quiz Lady here too.
But I'm sure the Red, White, and Royal Blue fan base would appreciate one. Outstanding lead actor now. Matt Bomer and Fellow Travelers. This premiered at TIFF last year. I don't think we ever had the chance to see it. It's a miniseries out on whatever, I don't know, something we don't have. Baby Reindeer, I think, again, he's getting a lot of traction. John Hamm in Fargo, though, is excellent. I told y'all during the TV halfway that there's a show called Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Y'all looked at me sideways. I'm here to tell you the Emmy Award nominated Feud, Capote versus the Swans is also maybe a contender, bro. Tom Hollander does a really good job as Capote. Because you're not just having to do Capote. We've seen Capote done by the one and only Philip Seymour Hoffman. So I think he gives a pretty good performance for that. And then, obviously, Andrew Scott and Ripley.
Yeah, Andrew Scott for me by a mile in this category.
By half a kilometer, I'm going John Hamm.
All right.
Actress in a limited...
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh. What do you got?
I mean, the little that I saw of Juno Temple in Fargo, I feel like it should be Juno's, but...
Juno's... Yeah, I'm going Juno as well, bro. Easily the standout. Let's see. Outstanding supporting actor in a limited or anthology series. I feel like you're going sympathizer here. You've been a big sympathizer fan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite part of that show, but I haven't seen a lot of these other ones, so...
I thought John Hawkes was decent, True Detective. I thought he was one of the better parts of the series.
Nice.
So, maybe him.
Cool.
And then Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited Series from Dakota in Ripley, Lily Gladstone. Ooh. Lily Gladstone. I'm going to say she got some traction coming into this.
Yeah.
Although,
I might go just... I was going to say...
the Baby Reindeer, well, yeah, she effectively got that down. She was so good, there's lawsuits.
Worth pointing out, Lily Gladstone and Callie Royce in this category. They were both nominated and became the first two Indigenous women ever nominated for an Emmy.
Okay. I think they had said the same thing for Griselda as well, about that being one of the first noms Sophia was able to pick up there.
Nice.
But we'll see. All that matters is that win, though. Outstanding directing. Anyone stand out for you?
I mean, to me, it's got to be Steve Zalian for Ripley. That show is unbelievably well directed.
I can see that one. I feel like Baby Reindeer might sneak in there a little bit. The next one is writing as well. Black Mirror. And I was about to say picture not available. Fellow Travelers are able to sneak into this one as well. Fargo, bro. I'm sorry, but it's Fargo.
All right. I'll ride with that.
And then we can go through these really quickly over here. You get into the reality TV shows. You get the outstanding host for a game show. So I was going to say rest in peace, Paul. But he's just retiring.
Yeah. So the last little bit of Emmys info that I'll talk about is Netflix ended up leading the nominations yet again. They had 107 this year, with shows like The Crown getting 18, Ripley getting 13, Baby Reindeer getting 11. But interestingly, FX actually beat HBO/Max, which normally HBO is either number one or number two. But this year, FX had 93 nominations compared to HBO's 91. It's the most nominations FX has ever had. They had 56 nominations in 2016. That was their most before this year, getting Shogun and getting Reservation Dogs and getting What We Do in the Shadows and getting a whole bunch of stuff to the Emmys. They also In fourth was Apple TV Plus with 72, then both NBC and CBS, who had 38 each. So they beat Prime Video. Disney Plus only had 19. Hulu, if you don't count the FX stuff, only had 26. But if you do put all the Walt Disney Company stuff together, they had 183 nominations across their different platforms.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Any other last minute thoughts before we wrap up for our Emmy noms?
Not really. Are you rooted for X-Men 97 in animated or Scavenger's Reign?
It's not. This is the first time I'm seeing the animated list, and Blue Eye Samurai was not bad.
Solid
X-Men is a
list.
standout. Bob's Never has a bad one, and Scavengers was getting a lot of love too, over on Max.
Yeah,
Probably the only one, as I'm skimming here towards the end, was the idea of moving John Oliver. I feel like he was not in the category that they're now putting him in against SNL. But we'll see how that goes. Do we know the date for this?
Ooh, they think they're usually in August. So they are. Oh, July 17th. Wait, no, that can't be right. That's the Emmy nominations. Sunday, September 15th. So right on the heels of Toronto.
Oh, I think you broke out there.
But
yeah, right in the fall. Back to its
September
regularly
15th.
scheduled programming.